Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today I'd like to start a project with a whole lot of willow cuttings that I collected a month or so ago, and I put them in this big stone water pot, and as you see they grew quite a lot of roots. That's what willows do. And I intend to fuse them and make a pollard willow of it. Pollard willow is something that is very common here when you take a walk, because a few centuries ago rope was extremely expensive, and they used the young twigs of willows to bundle stuff and to make chairs and to make tables and to make baskets, and so it was very valuable stuff, and it was absolutely free. So what they did, they let a willow grow, and all the cuttings, well, they used them to make all kinds of material that they needed. Willows, as you see and as you probably already know, root very easily, but I never had much success with willows, because some way or another they always die back, and well, I did different experiments with that, but it never worked. So another thing that I'm trying to do now is, you see I have one wire here, I have one wire here. I'm just going to let everything grow, and maybe in the autumn I will try to sort out all the trees. But what I want to do now is start the fusion on these trees by just letting inner branches grow strongly outside. I'll come a little closer to show you what I'm planning to do. So if we look at how these trees are starting to grow now, we can already see that we have some branches coming from the inside. That's because I did not tie it too much. Now, if this branch grows well, it will start fusing with the other branch that it encounters on its way out. So there will be contact, and when you have contact, you have fusion. Another thing that I want to do is let everything grow everywhere, because if you already start making a big ball here, like a pollard willow is supposed to be, you really are going to get quickly out of balance. I have some photos of pollard willows that I made in the neighborhood. I'll show you these photos. This is a big pollard willow that is growing in the neighborhood. I see it every time I go for a walk. He is gigantic. It is a tree, I think at the base it's certainly 1.5 meters. It's very old. You can also see that a part of the trunk is already hollow and, well, completely rotted out. Another nice thing here is that you see this huge canopy here. And when the leaves fall in autumn, some of the leaves, they stay between the branches here, and they form a natural mulch layer. So it's some kind of compost on the top of the tree, which of course results in other little plants growing in the crown of this pollard willows. The seeds of other trees that, well, come probably from birds' droppings and something. So it's this tree is an ecosystem on its own. This is the kind of pollard tree that I want to avoid. You see that we have a quite small trunk, and that's because they only let grow the crown and then cut it back. It's been cut back, and my cuttings are from these trees. And that's what I want to avoid, because I think it's going to look quite silly to have a thin trunk like this and a big ball at the top. So that's why I want to let all the branches grow out first to create a big trunk, and then afterwards, by just cutting back the top, we will have a good pollard willow. This one is really amazing. See, it's a very old tree, completely hollowed out, and this is still a part of the willow. But on the other side, some birch seed germinated here, and now there's a whole birch growing inside the hollow pollard willow. It's easy to recognize because you see the white bark here. So that's really an amazing tree, I think. And now back to this one. So as you see, I have already quite a lot of roots, which is great. All these white little tips here will probably become roots. And I'm a little bit concerned when I put this in a pot with substrate that it's going to be, well, quite bad for these roots. So maybe I came up with an idea that might just work. So I'm going to take a big pot, and this is the pot, and I have a drainage layer in here. So I'm just going to put this pot in this pot, but first I need to put some drainage, some gravel here, because otherwise my drainage screen is going to flow away. So 1 second. So now I have a good layer here. I'm going to put this in the water. Yeah, of course it's spilling a little, like so. It's going to be very tricky to get everything out, but what I think I will be able to do now is put the tree in the water, and the roots will not be damaged now because the roots are floating. Yeah, these are the cat litter parts that are floating, which is not a problem. But I think I'm going to stress the roots a whole lot less by doing it this way. So what sinks is the lava and the gravel. So far so good. It already stays fixed, which means that I can speed it up now. And there goes the spilling, like so. Now this root will probably not make it into the water. Just trying to, I don't see anything because this water is very dusty, so that's good. I'm almost there, I think. Like so. Yeah. See, it's not sinking as deep anymore. So I think I'm probably there. I'm quite sure that the roots are not completely crushed now, which was the whole idea. And then comes, of course, the tricky operation. So you see, we have, yeah, substrate all over the place. Now I have to get the pot out, and I will have to put it underground. Okay, so once that I can grab one part, it's gonna be okay. Okay, this of course is very heavy, it's full of water. So I'm going to put this on the ground and let it drip out while I clean up what I have here. So this is the start of the, I don't know how much I started it before, but lots of Pollard Willow project, and never did I succeed. Always these trees got sick, or, well, someone told me that leaving them in water is not a good idea because they get some kind of fungus, and well, okay, this root is definitely not going to make it, but I think that's quite okay. If you see how much roots I have here now, that should work fine. So yeah, I think watering this tree every day is going to be necessary, because willows love water, and well, that's what I'm gonna do. So, well, I hope this goes well, because I had some trouble with other trees. Maybe you remember my field maple over rock and my little broom maple. It's the 1st of May today. They did not start like the other maples. Well, let's have a look at them. So here they are, and you see 1st of May, still no leaves, but I don't know what's going on with the field maples this year. They are not growing, but when I scratch the surface, which I did yesterday, they're still green there, so maybe I must be patient. This is the field maple forest, and well, I have some hope, you see, because these leaves are already there for, well, 2 weeks now, and I thought that I lost a whole lot of trees in this forest, but no, because you see now this one here is starting to bud out, so it means that the budding out season for the field maple is not completely done. You have this little one in the back here that's also just leafing out, so yeah. And then you have the big field maple broom, which is already a whole lot more green than the others. So I don't know. Here we have the big maple fusion tree, which is also doing quite well. So you see lots of foliage already. I don't know, it's strange, very strange. I hope these other guys don't die on me, because, well, I like them. Yeah, we'll see. We give it a couple of weeks. Anyway, there's not a lot we can do to encourage them. They grow, they don't grow. Well, what can you do? Yeah, so I got carried away a little with the field maples. That was not really the intent of this video. So, well, that's all I have to do today on this start of a Pollard Willow project. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.